Richie, Saturday's game's been billed as the Battle of the Back Rows. Do you relish this encounter that you're going to have with Pocock and Hooper?
Absolutely. Had some pretty good challenges over the years. Even a couple of games this year were a good challenge, and it's the type of game you want to be involved in. So yeah, we realise that we need to be on the job and limit their influence as much as possible, and hopefully our back row can impose themselves.
And have you thought about you being the first person to be holding that Webb Ellis trophy aloft? There's posters around the stadiums of all the guys that have done it before. You're already there. How much would it mean for you to be the first guy to be up there twice?
Oh, that's what we're here to do. We come over here, and if at the end of 6 weeks you get that opportunity, then you've achieved what you're after. I guess, leading into a week like this, I haven't allowed myself to even think any minute past or second past the final whistle, because that lulls you into thoughts that are unhelpful for the game. So it's all been about what we do from the time the whistle goes to the time the last one goes, and we do that right and play our best, we'll give ourselves an opportunity. But we're going to have 15 guys against us that have the same attitude, but we get that performance right, that would be something that would be pretty nice to do.
One to Richie and Ma, really. What has being an All Black meant to you guys down the years?
I guess for me, it was always a dream, really, when I was young. I guess, when you go through college and you see the All Blacks playing overseas, especially in South Africa or the UK, rugby is a big part of how we grow up. It's part of our history. It's part of who we are for us as men, and that's what we strive to become. I think, when you become an All Black, it's more than just playing rugby. It's, representing your country, your family, and kids now that aspire to be, and you play international rugby against the best sides in the world, and that's what all rugby players want to do is just play footy, play the best footy with your best mates, and then go into battle.
Much similar. Like, you grow up as a young fella playing rugby, you want to be an All Black. That's the dream, and you I remember the first time you got to do it, just didn't want that moment to finish, and every time I've done it since, I always take a moment during the week, and that is to realise how lucky you are to get the opportunity to pull on the black jersey, and then once you get past that, it's about leaving something yourself in there, because that's what being an All Blacks requires, is that you go and add to what's gone before you, and you don't want to let it down, and that's always the attitude I have, and I've loved every time you get to do that.
Question for Julian. Jules, down the back here, mate. How you doing? Hey, as a guy who is playing in his first Rugby World Cup final, how much confidence do you garner from when you would look around on the field and have guys like Richie, Ma'a, Conrad, those guys that have got so much experience? How much confidence, how much of a calming factor is that for you?
Yeah, it's, like you said, it's makes it a lot easier with these guys being there. But as you said, the All Blacks were all about working together and doing our own jobs and not relying on Richie doing anything or someone else doing, going out of their way to do an extra job, just focusing on our own roles. And that's the great thing about this team. And we don't rely on anyone to do everyone else's jobs. We just focus on ours and prepare really well during the week. And I think that's what gives us all the confidence to play in the weekend.
Richie, several All Black legends will be leaving the stage, whether you're one of them or not. In the build-up to the game, do you make a play of that? Do you use it to help win the game, or do you try and put it in a box?
Look, to be honest, there's been no talk about that at all, and I think that's the last thing any of us want. It's about the team performing on Saturday. It's not about individuals, and that's always been the best thing about this team, is no matter who you are, it's about the team performing on Saturday, and the personal milestones or personal things that are come into it are left to the side. Like, there's no doubt the guys know that there's a few fellas that won't be here next year, but the best way to get that right is go and perform, and you do that by focusing on what you got to do for Saturday, and then it'll take care of all that.
Ma, can you try and explain, please, what it's like being a 12 playing outside a 10 like Dan Carter? What's special about the way he plays for you at 12?
Yeah, been lucky enough to play outside DC for almost 10 years. Played a whole All Black rugby together. I guess the thing with DC is really professional. He's a good communicator in terms of our plays, and I guess, you know, it takes a lot of work in terms of our training to try and get a combination right. Haven't been perfect the whole time. He made a lot of mistakes on the way. But I guess, you know, that's what we strive for, really, all those challenges. But he's just world class, and he's just playing his best rugby.
Richie, even if it's a different game with new generation, how important it is to already have won a final to prepare this one?
Look, the only thing you take out of being in a final before is you know how deep you probably have to dig to get across the line. But I guess it's the only thing you know is that at some point, and last week we had a bit of it where it comes down to making sure you win one or two moments that could be the difference. And, you know, Saturday may be exactly that. And that's probably the one lesson you're taken out of World Cups gone by. Obviously our experience in 4 years ago, but you look at all the teams that have won, they've had to dig pretty deep. And that's what we know we're going to have to do this week. And, you know, not actually doing anything magical. It's about doing your job when it counts. As these guys have said, that's what makes the team function.
Can you just talk a bit about Matt Giteau, how he's different from you as a 12, what you think of him and his career as a player?
Yeah, I respect Gitz as a player. I've seen him play the last few years over in France. I think he's playing his best footy in the Wallabies jersey. You know, he can kick off both feet. He's played fly half as well. He can cover all positions, so he's a dangerous player in terms of you know, putting the ball in the backfield and setting up plays. So, and I think he's probably the best defender at 12 in this World Cup.
Last question, thank you. Richie, is this the biggest game of your career?
Yeah, you don't get much bigger than a World Cup final, and it's exciting. You know, we left home, 6, 8 weeks ago, with the goal of getting ourselves to play in this game. And, you know, as a rugby player, who wouldn't want to be at the pinnacle playing at a World Cup final? And, you know, Twickenham's a hell of a place to play. I always love playing in there. The atmosphere's there in front of 80-odd thousand, and, you know, playing against a team that, you know, are playing pretty well. That it's going to be. And but that's why your rugby players play these games.
Thanks, everyone.